first year was exhilarating. It was amazing. I had been out of school for over 15 years, and I was really happy to be back in a place where I was engaging my brain. I could feel the gears in my brain working again. And it was really fun. I learned a lot. I could actually feel my mind twisting like a pretzel. I never thought that I would be able to see the other side of anything because I'm so opinionated. And they really taught me that. It was an amazing year for me. Loved it. What professor should students not miss? That's a tough one. I loved Marina Shea. I think that she is fantastic. I also really would recommend Jundef. If you can take any class with Jundef, hats off. I think the guy is fantastic. And who else? I think that those are probably the two ones that I highly recommend. We had Professor Wendell for property, and it's a shame that we don't have him here anymore. But if Wendell comes back, take Wendell, hands down. One of the best professors I've had at this university. So there you go, the two, Shea, Jundef, and if Wendell comes back, take Wendell. One class that I would recommend to everybody, I think that the class that is not mandatory that you take, but I think it should be mandatory that you take, is admin law. I took it with Professor Master. I loved it. It's hard, but I think that you cannot be a lawyer without taking admin law. You're going to be dealing with administrative agencies all your life, and it really helped me. I did my internship this summer with Sun in the Employment Law Division, and I was so glad that I had taken it because one of the things that they asked me to do was to respond to an agency request. And it had to do with the Freedom of Information Act, and I loved it because I seemed to be the only one there who knew what that was. And it was all because I had taken admin law. So I would highly recommend that whatever else you do, take that one. It's worth it. Well, given that I have 3 kids, actually 4, but one is already away at college, I think I've always had some balance because I had to. I had no choice. I have to come home and I still have to wash clothes. I still have to either cook dinner or heat dinner that I've already pre-bought, made. And it just gives you a whole sense of perspective when you have the children, because you know that no matter how badly you do in a subject, your kids will still love you, your dog will still lick you, your cats will still go in your lap. And so I think that you just have to keep things in perspective and figure out what really is the important stuff in your life. And it's definitely not your grades. They're important, but they're not who you are. And so I think it's important to keep that in mind. And if you exercise, if you go to church, definitely keep doing this. I don't think that I would have made it sanely through had I not had my family and had I not continued on a regular basis to go to my spiritual center that I go to. So keep doing the things you're doing. I think it is. At least the semester seems to be very easy for me. You already know what you're reading. You already know what you're looking for. When you're a 1L, you seem to think that everything in the case is important, and it is when you're in a 1L. But as you grow up in your career, you realize that no, I'm only looking for the holding, or I'm only looking for what was the original claim. So it depends on what subjects you're taking. You may be looking for different issues. I think I'd read much quicker now than I ever did in first year. I'm definitely not briefing every case as I did in first year. And I sort of know where I am and what I'm supposed to be doing, so I feel much more comfortable. I'm also working part-time, so I think it's much more doable as you go through your career. But second year, I did feel that they worked me to death, and so I had a bunch of papers that were due. Try to schedule your classes in a way that you don't have all the papers due on the same semester, because that is a disaster waiting to happen. Other than that, I'm really enjoying third year. I decided to come to Santa Clara because I had heard nothing but good things about Santa Clara. It was close to home. I have 4 children, so I really couldn't be that mobile. And they offered me a scholarship, so I thought that this was definitely the place to come. I also thought that the quality of the people that I had interacted with was much better here than at other universities that I had actually gone to check out. And so here I am.